Hi friends, my name is Asanka and I work as a consultant for a software company in Sri Lanka. In this video, let's take a look at how we can integrate Amazon SQS and AWS Lambda. As you can see, there is a SQS service named Order Queue, which is accepting orders from different devices, desktop and mobile. Also, on the right hand side of the diagram, you can see order processor, which is nothing but a AWS Lambda function, which is listening to these incoming events and in some processing based on the data it receives. I'm in the AWS console. So since our Lambda function, the order processor function, needs to communicate with the SQS queue, so we need to provide the required permissions to the Lambda functions. So for that, we'll go to the IAM. So search IAM for identity and access management, click on that. So what we are going to do is create a role and assign few policies to that facilitates this communication and logging, storing all these logs to CloudWatch. So click on roles, scroll down a little, click create role. So since we need to provide Lambda function the permission to communicate with other services, we'll select Lambda, click next. So here you will see the list of policies that is available in a Lambda, in AWS account. So from here, what you can do is you can filter the required policies and attach to your role. So Lambda basic, yeah. So I'll select AWS Lambda basic execution role, and I will type SQS and find AWS Lambda SQS queue execution role as well. And since the order processor Lambda function needs to log the data to the CloudWatch, so we'll assign the required permission as well. So search for CloudWatch and scroll down a little. Here you will see something with the name CloudWatch logs. Yeah, CloudWatch logs full access. So click on that, click next. If you want, you can specify tags here, click next, and in here, so we'll name this as SQS Lambda basic execution role and click create. So what this will do is this will create a role with this SQS Lambda basic execution policy and attach the policies that we have selected. So since we have created the IAM role, let's move into the SQS to create the order queue. So search for SQS and select simple queue service. So now we are in the Amazon SQS page. So to create a new queue, click on create queue. We'll name this queue as ABC order queue. So these are the basic two types of queues that you can create with SQS. You have the standard queues and you can define also FIFO queues. So with the standard queues, so it doesn't guarantee you the order of the messages getting delivered to the other side. But in your case, if you need something to something that guarantees or something that needs to be exactly to be executed based on the order of the messages it receives, then the ideal option is a FIFO queue. For standard queues for 1 million requests, it's like 40 cents, and with FIFO queues it's like 50 cents, so it's a 20% increase in the cost. So for this demo, we'll standard queue. And next you have the configurations options. So most of the situations, these default configurations are okay. For this demo, I'll just leave it as is. At the latter part of this demo, we'll talk about each of these parameters. So then you see the access policies. By default, the basic is selected. So this basically talks about who can send messages to this queue and who can receive messages from this queue. Custom policies, then of course you can do that. So what you can do is you can create that policy as a JSON file and go to JSON and provide it there. So for this demo, we'll choose the default, which is basic, and you have another section called encryption, which is optional. So by default, it's disabled. In case your payload contains some sensitive information and you want to secure it or encrypt it, so in that case you can enable it, and select the default KMS key or create a new KMS key and assign it. For the demo purpose, we'll just use the default. So the other section is the dead letter queue. So it's by default it's disabled, but if you want to enable it, so you can click on enable and select a queue, a target queue. When the processor fails to process a record or a message from the queue, those messages will be delivered into this queue. So somewhere down the line we can look into this particular queue and do something for the messages that got failed. So for the demo purpose, we'll use the default. I'm not going to select any tags for this demo. Just to create the queue, just click on create queue. Yeah, as you can see the successful message. The queue has been created. Now the other part we need to create is the Lambda function. So for that, we'll open another tab and go to the AWS console and search for Lambda. Click on Lambda. So this is the Lambda home page. So to create a new function, click on create function. You can author your Lambda function from scratch using C#, Node.js, Python, and there's another option where you can use existing template provided by the AWS and use that to create your function. So for the demo purpose, I'll select the blueprint and search for, since we are working something related to SQS, so I'll see whether there are any templates with SQS and search. Yeah, as you can see there's a template, so I'll select that and click on configure. So you need to provide a name for this function, so we'll name this as ABC order processor. And in a previous step, as you can remember, we have created a role with the required permissions for this use case. So select the second option, which is use an existing role, and select the role which we have created. So that is the SQS Lambda basic execution role. So since that is done, let's move down to SQS triggers, and from here select your queue. So our queue name is ABC order queue. Select that. One important thing to remember is that you need to make sure this the trigger is enabled. So make sure to enable this and go down. So in here you can see some information like this particular, since we selected a template, so this is something created with Node.js 12, and this is the code we got from that particular template that we selected. So basically what this does is this yeah, it reads the data from the SQS message and logs it to the console, and also it returns the length of the records it receives. Yeah, let's click on create to create the function. Yeah, as you can see your function is getting created, and yeah, it's done. You can see the link between the Lambda function and the SQS queue. Okay, so let's move to configurations, triggers, and here you see this ABC order queue is in disabled state. So to enable that, you just need to click on this, click enabled, and click enable again, and as you can see now it's enabled. Let's move into the SQS queue and send a message. So go to your SQS queue, click on this button, send and receive messages. So we'll send a simple message, a simple string, ABC, and click on send. So I'm in the ABC order processor Lambda function. So in the monitors tab, as you can see, you have received a message. So one invocation, and the duration is 13 milliseconds, and you see 100 here, so it's like all success. So there are like it receives has been successful, no errors. So to see so let's move into CloudWatch logs. The message as the Lambda function processed and logged into the CloudWatch logs. Click on CloudWatch log groups. So here you see ABC order processor, click on that, and you will see some log streams. Click on this particular record, and in here you will see the message we sent. We sent ABC, so you can see that message logged in here.